We're back, and it feels like only yesterday the last 1.17 Snapshot hit us. Funny how time works, but now we have more new features to discuss. From stalagmites and stalactites to bundle changes and regular bug fixes, it's safe to say that this snapshot is taking us one step closer to the caves part of the Caves and Cliffs update. So let's break down all the features and mechanics that were introduced this week. Welcome back to Kweebec Corner. My name is Connor, and today on the Minecraft update log, we discuss everything you may have missed in the 20w48a snapshot. This week we saw the addition of dripstone blocks and dripstone points, as well as some tweaks to pre-existing snapshot features like the bundles, some minor bug fixes, and even some cool mechanics that can be utilized for builds and traps. Rumor has it there's a percentage subscriber statistic card floating around somewhere. Oh, there it is, get it quick. 97% of people watching the video don't subscribe. Two new blocks have been added to the creative menu, dripstone blocks and dripstone points. Dripstone blocks will likely spawn in Dripstone Caves, and these blocks are what pointed dripstone can naturally spawn on. Stalactites form when dripstone appears from below, and stalagmites form when they grow from above the block. For reference, you can remember stalactites as the one on the roof because they have a C in them for ceiling. Stalagmites and stalactites can be placed down and also combined in a cool way to make pillars, although no actual natural generation has been added to this snapshot for the Dripstone Caves. Honestly, I kinda like Mojang's approach with this. They're adding each detail of the update slowly over time, giving themselves lots of room to focus their attention before setting loose on an entire new cave generation system. While you can't find dripstone caves, you can place down the blocks after accessing them in creative mode. Dripstone points can be stacked to form longer, bigger stalactites and stalagmites. If the block above a stalactite is broken, the remainder of that point will fall down and cause damage to anything below, player or mob. It's pretty dangerous. Velocity is actually a factor here too. The higher the stalactite falls from, the more damage it causes. I did this test with a few zombies showing that the lower down ones don't cause much damage, whereas the ones really high up totally one-shot. I calculated that about 10 to 9 blocks is the minimum height for a stalactite to one-shot a zombie in particular. The size of the stalactite doesn't appear to matter though. Whether it's a 1 point, 2 point, or 4 point, the damage dealt appears to be the same, if not marginally different, not enough to notice. We did this test on a number of zombies too, showing that 3 point stalactites did pretty much the same damage. Dropping on stalagmites is a different story, however. This causes some insane amounts of damage. I did some more tests with zombies and then myself, and yeah, they hurt, and it'll definitely suck running into these in caves. You can cause damage just by being on them and jumping up and down. I actually tested a long drop onto the spikes with full netherite armor to see if I'd survive, and I died. Someone will need to do a little more testing on the parameters of these things, but it's safe to say you'll need to be wary, especially since stalactites can randomly drop without being prompted by the player in caves. Another small thing to note, stalactites and stalagmites can be broke by shooting a trident at them. This would be a really cool way to trigger a trap, either that or activating a piston to break the stalactite's source block. In my experiments so far, I actually also found out that falling stalactites will be slowed down by powdered snow. Actually a really cool mechanic that delays the spike's momentum, sort of makes it go in slow motion, and this would surely be a great mechanic for a surprise trap. Make sure to drop a like if you're going to use that one. Stalactites drip water or lava if a source block is above or nearby. These drips will actually slowly fill up a cauldron as time goes on, although I assume this would take quite a lot of time. Drips of lava from the stalactites also do not damage or burn you. All in all, I think these are a really handy addition to the game. They're a new obstacle in the depths, and also something that can be harvested with as low as a wooden pickaxe to be used on the surface to trap your friends, or even create a defensive barrier around your base to prevent mobs attacking. Naturally, a few changes have been made to existing features that were added in previous snapshots before this, and it appears as if the devs have been listening to us and the community's feedback. They've altered the bundles so that right-clicking a bundle in the inventory now only empties one item at a time. This means you can slowly unpack things rather than having them all explode out into your inventory or onto the ground if you have no room. This is a great change in my opinion, and you can now even see in the advanced tooltips how full the bundle is. But I'd still like to see the full unpack if we shift right-click the bundle, and personally I think the whole mess could be avoided if right-clicking a bundle just kept the interface with all the items inside open, like a chest, allowing you to pick and choose what you take out in any order. But this is why snapshots exist, for people to provide feedback until features like this feel perfect. Another change to the bundle is that now right-clicking it in your hand will empty out all the contents in front of you. This would be great for multiplayer trading or even just for getting rid of lots of items you don't want anymore without having to tediously grab each thing and throw it out of your inventory. A more obscure change is that now candles can only be placed if there's a solid surface below. I mean, this makes sense and will help with entity placing, I imagine, but don't worry, you can still make floating candles by breaking the block underneath the candle after it's been placed. Going back to the snowy biome for a moment, wearing any piece of leather armor will now prevent the freezing effect in powdered snow entirely. This seems kind of OP if you ask me, being able to block the brand new harsh snowy conditions with just a single strip of leather, but to be honest it would also suck needing to downgrade your diamond or netherite gear to full leather every time you ventured up to a snowy mountain, so I can see the reasoning behind this change. Some of the oldest items in the game have also received a texture update. Clocks are now a darker gold with a more bold tone and outline, with the compass also receiving a bit of a bolder makeover. Honestly, I'm not sure how I feel about the clock changing, it does look a bit weird. Amethysts have also received yet another retexture, but these guys are finally starting to look quite good. Speaking of retextures, the candles have also gone through a little change, but I can't really spot the difference. I think they got thinner, but I'm not sure. You'll have to let me know in the comments. The freeze damage game rule was also added, allowing players to toggle the freeze damage caused by powder snow. Just a small quality of life thing, of course. Just a random set of observations I made that didn't really fit specifically anywhere in this video. The spyglass now has an updated 3D texture, and when using it, it actually looks really cool. Falling dripstone points may likely set off observers. You can combine stalagmites and stalactites to form a kind of jagged teeth effect, or like I said at the start of the video, a pillar. A reminder that with these increasing dangers being added to the caves, a spyglass is actually starting to look like more of a useful tool. Hopefully armor will be enough to protect you from falling stalactites. And honestly, I'd really like it if when lava dripped into a cauldron full of water, it created some sort of subtle smoke effect. I know this is like really small and I'm being really petty, but please add something like that, it'd be really cool. Of course, there were also a number of minor bug fixes, but there were also some pretty big ones, so I'll make sure to read them out. There was an issue with the world border not rendering below Y0 and above Y255, but that's now been fixed. The spyglass animation was bugged when swimming, that's now been fixed. Previously, if you used the spyglass and walked, it would also wobble, but that has now also been fixed. There was a bug where items inside of a bundle disappear if you empty the bundle in a full inventory when in creative mode. This has been fixed. There was an inconsistency with crafting. Cut copper blocks into slabs only yielded 4 slabs instead of 6. This has now been fixed. You'll notice in my last video I featured that perspective quite a lot, so I was happily surprised at this bug fix, and shows that Mojang are actually listening to the community. There was an issue where powdered snow didn't give you frozen effect in creative mode, this has now been fixed. Compasses were also bugging out in bundles when they didn't have something to point to, that's now been fixed. There was an issue with chest closing sounds desyncing with the closing animation, that has been fixed, surprise surprise. And finally, TNT flashes are translucent once again, hooray! There's still plenty I'm exploring and trying to figure out, but I'm sure the community will be brainstorming some incredible farming and trap ideas for this snapshot. Don't forget to leave a like if you enjoyed the video. Honestly, I'm getting more and more excited for the prospect of starting a new survival world in 1.17. Maybe even starting an SMP would be cool. But I'll likely save all of that for when I start streaming. If you enjoyed this summary and discussion of the snapshot, then make sure to leave your own thoughts and opinions in the comments below. I try to reply to as many people as possible. If you want to join a really fun Discord server with thousands of Minecraft and Hytale enthusiasts such as yourself, then make sure to check out the link in the description. We're a great community. That's that for this week's Minecraft update log. Until next time, keep smiling. Thank you for liking, subscribing, and thanks as always for watching Kweebec Corner. Stay safe and keep free.